The Bharat Bandh has turned violent in Noida and Uttar Pradesh. There are protests that are taking place and we are also being told that buses have been burned. Let's just listen to some reactions from the ground.
3,000 सैलरी दे रही है, इससे कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा। 10,000 सैलरी होनी चाहिए, लेकिन ऐसा ही होगा लाइफ टाइम तक।
अब से पहले आप लोगों ने हंगामा निकाला, आज ही हंगामा क्यों कर रहे हैं?
लेकिन कुछ हो नहीं पाता है, लेकिन अब के ज्यादा ही हो रहा है।
आज पूरा भारत बंद है, अलग अलग
3,000 सैलरी में कुछ नहीं, काम लेते हैं 8 घंटे का 8 घंटा प्रोडक्शन लेते हैं, टारगेट लेते हैं, 12 घंटे खड़े होकर काम करवाते हैं। 10,000 सैलरी होनी चाहिए।
Well, what you see on your screens are a severe fallout really of the violence that has taken place in Noida and Uttar Pradesh. Well, this has happened during the Bharat Bandh or the All India strike that is taking place today as well as tomorrow. Factories and cars have been vandalized in Noida and Greater Noida near Delhi. Now, factory owners are also saying that their property is being looted and a desperate call to the police is also going unheard as of now. You can see the fallout of the Bharat Bandh there on your screens. You have people pelting stones, protesters out on the roads. No sign really of any form of security or the police at the site of the protest. We've been told that vandalization is happening. Cars are being vandalized. Factories are also being vandalized. You see the screens of factories, the windows being hit and broken in Noida there. You also see buses and trucks being burnt. All this happening in UP and there is no sight of the police in question as we speak. Clear fallout of the Bharat Bandh. Well, we also did report of a death that has taken place in Ambala. Now you're seeing violent protests taking place in Noida, buses being burnt. We're also being told that factories and cars are being vandalized in Greater Noida. This is near Delhi. Factory owners have said that their property is being looted. Some owners were allegedly even holed up inside their offices, claiming that the police is ignoring desperate calls for help. Well, the worst affected areas have been shown on your screen there. You're also seeing areas of the Gautam Budh Nagar in Noida where the protests are taking place. Clear fallout of the Bharat Bandh there. It's a 2-day bandh being called by 11 unions, trade unions. They're demanding a basic salary hike among other demands, which is against the rising inflation. We have Vijay Kaul joining us on the phone line. Vijay, we're seeing a clear fallout of the Bharat Bandh taking place in Noida, where buses are being burnt and factories are being vandalized.
Yes, exactly, Vedika. Now, this whole protest, which was supposed to be silent and kind of a solidarity protest against the government policies and a protest of the Workers Association. Now, here in Noida, in Sector 57, at the Hosiery complex, a group of workers who were on strike have turned violent. About 5 to 6 private vehicles have been burnt, and so has a fire brigade too has been burned. Now, these workers have been demanding, have been fighting against the government policies which they claim are anti-people and anti-workers, and therefore they were on strike. They have been on strike. They are going to be on strike for 2 days, and these workers, part of a number of workers' unions across the country, have all accumulated here. But this particular venue has turned violent, which is quite unfortunate. And police forces are trying to get the mob under control. They've tried to stop the mob. They're urging them to remain calm and not turn violent. But the mob refuses to calm down. But as of now, the police are trying their best to control this whole act of vandalism and violence that is taking place in Noida.
What's also surprising, Vijay, is the fact that what we see on our screens right now is vandalization taking place. You see mobs, people, protesters coming up and hitting the screens of offices as well. And we don't see any policemen anywhere, no sort of security out on the roads while this is happening in Noida.
Well, exactly. That is a completely a law and order situation failure, whereas the police should have been prepared, because given the sheer number of these workers, now, Vedika, we know that these associations are 11 in number, but they are backed by around 10 crores workers across the country. So that's a huge amount of people coming onto the streets and protesting. So the police should have been prepared, that the law and order machinery should have been kept in place and on standby, so as to ensure that no such incident takes place. And the fact that even a fire brigade has been attacked and private vehicles of people who were just passing by, so clearly shows how these workers and protesters are getting out of hand and out of control, and the police have completely failed to keep them under check.
Also, what we're seeing surprisingly is, Vijay, that fire tenders have also been set ablaze. These fire tenders, which are supposed to help in a situation like today and tomorrow, a preventive measure really being put in place. The protesters have gone ahead and attacked fire tenders as well.
Exactly. It's quite unfortunate that people of the fire department come and attack. were sent there to control the situation, but somehow protesters are completely clueless of what they're protesting for, and they're just targeting anybody and everybody who is coming in their way. Clearly, the police needs to act and to act fast before the gets out of hand, before there are more casualties.
Right, Vijay, also do tell us about neighbouring Delhi. What is the situation there as we speak? Are there any stray incidents of violence that has been reported from the capital?
Well, this seems to be the first incident of violence that too has been reported from the NCR region, but so far Delhi per se has been silent. Yes, there have been protests. Yes, the public transport system has changed. Autos are not working. And across Delhi have been facing a lot of inconvenience, but so far no act of violence.
Also, the transport system seems to have been paralyzed in the capital, Vijay.
Yes, exactly, Vedika. The transport has been completely paralyzed, as I was telling you already. Apart from the metro, which seems to be the lifeline in today's case, and a few DTC buses, that was the dispatch from the boss to the DTC bus drivers that if they don't come to work, then they will have to pay dire consequences. Therefore, the DTC buses are working. But apart from that, taxis, auto rickshaws completely off roads. Passengers having a harrowing time. Commuters also waiting for half an hour for a bus to arrive, and that too are quite crowded. Even metros are very overcrowded. Even on a normal day, the metro trains have a huge footfall. But today, because given the fact that there are no autos and no taxis working, the entire burden of the commuters in Delhi has fallen onto the metro and onto the services. Therefore, a very, very difficult situation for the commuters and passengers.
Right, Vijay, but coming back to this incident that we're playing out on our screens being reported from Noida, where protesters have now turned into arsonists hijacking the protest, it seems to be a free-for-all situation in Noida.
Clearly, people have been mentioning law and order completely been thrown out of gear, because the police should have been prepared. They know that there are about a number of workers belonging to every workers' union possible, and they are agitated. Their dogs have failed the government. So the police should have preempted that this incident can take place, and therefore they should have put in place enough security personnel at every important point wherever they thought that violence could escalate, and should have been prepared to take on any such untoward incident. But clearly over here, the police seem quite helpless and are not able to take care and are not able to control these workers who are turning violent.
Also, give us an estimate of the kind of loss we're talking about in the NCR region, Vijay, as far as this two-day bandh is concerned.
Well, the losses as per the government are estimated to be quite huge. Now, if you talk about 10 crore workers not coming to not coming for on the job, it clearly shows that a lot of business will be lost. The economy will be taking a hit. But as far as now we're concerned, there's no exact figure that we are getting from economists. But yes, huge loss estimated to the industry and the economy.
What's also clear, Vijay, is that there's a fine line really between protesting and arson. What we're seeing on our screens right now is clear arson taking place. These protesters, in the name of demanding their rights, have come out on the streets. They're protesting. You see very happy faces. They're very satisfied with what they've really done. And the situation is just spiraling out of control. You have arsonists hijacking the protests. You have fire tenders being set ablaze. And there is no police person around, and these people seem to be having the a free-for-all situation there.
Well, Vedika, may what the cause be? One thing is for certain, that nothing justifies violence, and what we are seeing over here is complete violence, and the law and order situation being thrown out of gear, and the police not being able to control this. Now we need to be very sure that these protesters were supposed to be striking, and it was supposed to be a tool down, and tool downs and these strikes are supposed to be silent in nature. It's supposed to be symbolic, a symbolic protest to tell the government that they are unhappy with their policies, which they claim to be anti-people and anti-workers. But nothing justifies violence and the sort of situation that we are seeing right now.